What's going on, YouTube? Darklight Dreamer here. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning right now. As you guys can see, it is dark outside at the moment. I'm still getting used to my new work schedule. As you guys know, I used to be off on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And then my schedule was a bit wonky for a while, and now I'm off on Wednesday and Thursday every week. Which sucks, because all my friends are doing stuff on the weekends, especially Saturday. We have RP night on Saturdays. We usually go from like 8 o'clock to midnight. But now hopefully we'll have to start earlier at 6 o'clock-ish if everybody's able to, so that way I can get in a decent amount of RP time before I have to leave at 10 o'clock. I run a campaign myself. It's called Stormfinder RPG. It's a story I've been working on ever since I was about 15 or less years old. So it's kind of my baby, and I kind of custom homebrewed a system for it. It's based off the D10 system. It's based off of White Wolf specifically, and I kind of modified the system to be more combat-oriented instead of politics-oriented, and I kind of custom tailor each person's character to like exactly the way that they want it. So that way each character is like unique and everybody feels like really attached to their character. It seems to really work out for them. It's a lot of fun. I also play as a wizard in a Dresden Files RP. If you guys haven't read the Dresden Files, it is a very well written series. Jim Butcher is a great writer, and it's a very exciting series about a modern day wizard that helps with the police and investigations as a wizard for hire. And things get kind of crazy from there. So it has its own like rules of magic and such. It's a great read if you guys are into that kind of thing. So do yourselves a favor and check it out. So yeah, hopefully I can get in a decent amount of RP time still. Also, last weekend, last Saturday, we had a Halloween party, and that was awesome because it was murder mystery themed. And as we walked in, we were each given roles. And as we ate and conversed, we each had different things that we had to read that our characters knew or like had information about. And so we ate and conversed, we stayed in character the whole time, and as there was a toast to a couple that was about to get married, during the toast, one of our friends dropped dead. And we had to investigate his murder and try to figure out who the killer was among us. The person that was the killer read in the envelope that they were given at the beginning that they were the murderer, so they knew that they were the killer, and we all had to try to deduce through evidence and clues and gathering information who the killer was, and it was a lot of fun. It was one of the most fun Halloween parties I've ever been to. Excuse me. So yeah, I actually won an award that night. It was called the Drama Queen Award. It was for the best actor of the night, so it was. I was really happy to receive that. I was the manor watchman, Willie, and I was kind of leading the investigation. I took my role kind of seriously, so I had a lot of fun acting that out. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna have to try to schedule all my recordings now on Wednesday and Thursday nights since I'm off. So hopefully I'll get in two recordings on Wednesday night, 2 recordings on Thursday night, and then I can just kind of edit and post throughout the week. So that's kind of how I have things planned. Also, my Let's Play I Am Setsuna series is coming to a close. I only have a few more episodes left in that series. So after that, I know I've had a few requests to continue playing Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. A lot of people really enjoyed watching that, so I think I'm going to continue to do that series. I have the 3 days left, so I think I'm going to do like one other day per episode. So that'll be 3 episodes of that. I hope you guys enjoy that. I also have Yomawari Night Alone coming up, which is probably going to be my next Let's Play series. It probably won't be very long either. I'm really looking forward to playing that one. I have a few like random short Let's Plays I have in mind. Hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to do some console Let's Plays, and I'll be able to play games like World of Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy 15, which is coming out at the end of this month. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to all of those. So hopefully I'll have some new content coming up for you guys in the near future. Anyway, that's what's going on in my life, and I know you guys are here to hear some of the answers that I have to some of the questions you guys asked me last video. If you guys have any questions for the next video, please don't hesitate to comment those questions down below in the comment section of this video, and I will get around to those next week. So let's get into it. Greg Henderson mentioned, "You forgot racing games" in my last video whenever I was talking about games that I played and my favorite genre. Sorry about that, Greg. I really don't play a lot of racing games, so I didn't really consider it. I really am bad at them. I take turns way too wide whenever I'm going fast. I can't seem to ever slow down enough to take a good turn without just like stopping completely. And I'm really bad at them. I've never been really big into cars, so I just never really played a lot of racing games, so I apologize for that. Baza, the Soul Assassin, says, cool answer to my question. I love The Last Witch Hunter. I think Constantine would make a good game. Loads of demons, a bit of politics between angels and demons. Keep the channel going, fella. Love it. Thank you very much, Baza. I really, really appreciate your support. Question for next time, do you prefer nostalgia in a game or something never done before? I would be hard-pressed to pick one or the other. I think both are equally important in the video game industry. Obviously, a lot of times when you're coming out with a new game, you want to make something that's unique, that's never been seen before, and that's exciting, right? Whenever you see a game's coming out that's doing something that nobody's ever done before, with a new system, new stories, and that's how you get like new fandoms that people are going to want nostalgia for. But I love nostalgia. As you know, I'm a big fan of the Final Fantasy series, and I love games that give those throwbacks to like the older series that I've played, and I can be like, hey, I know that character from Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy VII. And I think it's interesting that Square Enix is kind of coming out with two sides of that coin right about the same time. World of Final Fantasy just came out, and that's obviously both geared towards a younger audience and for people that love Final Fantasy for the nostalgia factor, because it has all the characters and worlds from older Final Fantasy games. But at the same time, you have Final Fantasy 15 coming out at the end of this month that is like all brand new gameplay, all brand new characters and story. It's their like forward RPG with like the innovative one. And I think it's cool that they have two sides of that coin. They know the importance of both having something innovative and something nostalgic. So yeah, I don't think I could pick one or the other, so I think both are equally important. Amira from Couple of Geeks says, awesome Q&A, dude. Thank you so much, Amira. I really, really appreciate y'all's support. It means a lot to me. Notice me senpai lol. Cool shirt too. Wish we had big anime cons near us. It sucks that you guys don't have big anime cons near you. You know I'm a big fan of anime. Maybe if you guys are able to, maybe one day you guys can come down here and visit me and we can all go to A-Kon together. What do you guys think? That'd be awesome, right? Wargamer Sean says, nice video and heartfelt. I have to disagree though. Aquaman is a crappy superhero. It was only with developing him in the last 15 years that he has become powerful, but I think that is to make up for how crappy he was. Yeah, I really was just talking about how Aquaman is now. I think that's the key word, is that now he's a lot better than he used to be. But I think that a lot of people are still stuck in that mindset that his only ability is to talk to fish, or they're just, whenever they learn about Aquaman, that's the only thing they hear is that he can talk to fish, and they don't do any research themselves. So I'm really just talking about how he is now. But my favorite games of all time are the Mass Effect series, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls game. I'm assuming you've played these games. What are your thoughts on them? Let me tell you, I love those games. I've logged hundreds of hours probably on each one of those game series. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, I played all three of those multiple times, so that way I could play with different power sets and different classes, different, I play Paragon in one and Renegade in the other. So that's really awesome. I love the multiplayer. Me and my friends have played so many hours of the multiplayer. We used to be like a regular thing, like we'd come home from work or be winding down for the night, we'd send out mass texts like, who wants to play Mass Effect 3? And yeah, we'd all get together and play the multiplayer of that. I used to play like the assassin type classes, like the stealth classes a lot in the multiplayer. The N7 Shadow and stuff like that. But yeah, I really love the Mass Effect series. With Mass Effect Andromeda, when that comes out, I'm thinking about doing a Let's Play series on that. Let me know what you guys think of that down below. The Fallout series. I really, really love the Fallout series. I actually didn't even start with 3 or 4. I started with Fallout 2 back when it was on PC a long time ago. It was a lot of fun back then. It was a very different game back then, but I really love what it's become. I love that they still do nods to kind of the old style. I also played Fallout New Vegas. It was buggy a bit, but I really enjoyed it anyway. So yeah, love those games. I also love how Bethesda allows you to mod your games a lot, so you kind of customize your experience. Excuse me. Yeah, I really enjoy that. The Elder Scrolls game, I didn't actually start Elder Scrolls until Oblivion. I didn't really get the hype back then, and once I started playing Oblivion myself, it's a different experience to really play it yourself than to watch somebody play it. But I loved playing Skyrim. I loved how, or Oblivion, I loved how it's like open world and you can kind of like do whatever you want in this world. It's not something that I would love for every game to do, but I really like how it makes like the Elder Scrolls unique. How it's just so open-ended, they literally just drop you in the middle of the world and it's just like, okay, do whatever you want. So, yeah, I played Oblivion and Skyrim a lot. Well, sadly enough, I don't think I've actually beaten the main storyline of Skyrim. I think I've managed to do every other side quest except the main storyline. So, yeah. Oops. Rydek from Coca-Cola Geek says, "Hey brother, absolutely brilliant. Amir and I just watched this with our tea. So funny. Can't wait for your next episode. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys have given me up until now. You guys are the absolute best. I really appreciate it, guys. Even though it got real towards the end, we are proud of you for speaking up and letting us in. Thank you guys so much. Thank everyone for supporting me through that. It was kind of hard to talk about all of my mental issues. I was kind of scared to do so. I wasn't sure how you guys would react, and I'm glad that it wasn't off-putting or anything. So thank you guys very, very much. Let's see. Lady Nightfall says, "Great video. Lots of fun to watch." Thank you very much, Lady Nightfall. I really appreciate it. My question, what is the most overrated game in your opinion? Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, because if it's overrated, a lot of people love the game, right? So, just like the most underrated game of all time, I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I think the most overrated game that I've ever played is the Dark Souls series. I'm sorry to those of you that love that series, but a lot of my friends have told me it's like the greatest game ever, and you really need to play this game. It's like a must-play, and I tried to play it, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. I felt kind of like I was playing it with a brick. The controls are very non-intuitive. It felt wonky trying to control my character. It was hard to figure out like how to set your character up and how to play the game. There's really no like tutorial on how to play the game, so you just kind of have to figure it out. And I know that it being hard is supposed to be one of its main selling factors, but you can make it like the controls intuitive and stuff, and it still be a hard game. I don't think that trying to figure out how to play should be the hard part. And I love, games that are hard, don't get me wrong. I played Catherine, which about made me want to throw my console out the window, but I loved it. And I played Toho, which is a really difficult bullet hell shooter. So hard isn't what does it for me. It's that I didn't really feel like there was a good storyline to it. I didn't feel like any connection to the main character. I know he's supposed to be you, but they don't give you any like backstory or anything, I feel like. So I don't know. It wasn't really big into it. Maybe I'm wrong. Convince me down in the comments below if you have some things about the game that you think I'll like. Then let me know. Convince me. Maybe you can change my mind. Idic Beer says, "One of the best Q&As I've ever seen, my friend. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. I'm really flattered that you think so. Very happy to hear that your channel has helped you so much, and you made me think there for a minute about having lots of love to give and giving it to the videos. That is very true. So believe it or not, I was watching My Little Pony with my daughter at the same time as your video. What was your favorite pony?" That's a big coincidence. That's really awesome. My favorite pony, probably Twilight Sparkle, because I love that she always is like in pursuit of knowledge and is always reading and stuff. I like kind of like the nerdy girls. And I love how she's like the most magic-y of all the ponies, and as you know, I'm a big fan of magic. I also like Fluttershy because I think it's cute how she's always like, kind of shy. Also, as a lover of Asia food myself, as my wife is Indonesian, I didn't know that. That's awesome. How spicy do you like your food? I can handle my food and like my food to be pretty spicy. I don't like to eat spicy food all the time because I love spicy food. My body doesn't really handle it very well, unfortunately. I always regret it later. But I love spicy food. My mom is Thai, as you guys know. And I think the spiciest thing she's ever made was innocently called beef and basil. And it tasted like pure pain. And while I was eating it, it tasted so good. But I was like, like tears and like snot coming out of my mouth, but I kept on putting it in my mouth. It was so good. So yeah, I can handle pretty spicy food. I like my food to be pretty spicy. I think without any spice, it's really missing something. So I always like to have a little bit of spiciness with my food. Frost and Fist says, "Great show, my brother. I've really enjoyed seeing you have fun with these questions and connecting with others. For the next one, I hear from a reliable source that you're actually an incredible singer. Will you share 30 seconds of your incredible talent with us?" Sure, I'd love to. I will try not to be too loud because I know that you're sleeping like in the next room, so yeah. She said it's cold outside and then she has my raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. She said it's all gonna end and it might as well be my fault. She only sleeps when it's raining, and she screams, and her voice is strained as she says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. She says, baby, well, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes, but the rain's gonna wash away, I believe it. So yeah, I hope I wasn't too loud, Mythos. I apologize if I was, and I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway, even though I wasn't able to really project very much. But, hopefully you think I'm a decent singer. I don't know. Tattoo for you, Richard says, great Q&A, brother. Sounds very similar to why I started my channel. I still have dark days, but the hobby really helps me. Thanks for sharing. I definitely still have my dark days as well, Richard. A lot of times when you start having those dark thoughts, I know that I start to downward spiral, and one dark thought leads to another, and you can really make yourself feel very isolated, alone, like nobody cares about you, you can really feel down on yourself. And I know that's all in my mind, but I'm really working at it. But YouTube really helps. So I'm glad that we can kind of connect that way, in that way, I mean. Question, have you played 7 Days to Die? I have not played it yet. I actually had never heard of it until you mentioned it. So whenever I read the question, I watched Markiplier play it a little bit, and it looks really interesting. So I might do a Let's Play of that in the future. I don't know. I might check it out. What do you think of the new Resident Evil game? Resident Evil 7, to me, it looks amazing. I always loved the idea that Resident Evil can be really, creepy. I know that Resident Evil 1 and 2, to me, felt creepy, and then the rest felt more, action-oriented. Actually, I think 4 was really creepy as well as being action-oriented. But it kind of started turning into, a big shoot-fest. And I know a lot of people are upset because Resident Evil 7 looks like it's going to be a really creepy game that's inspired more by Silent Hill PT. And I really like that. I enjoyed Silent Hill PT a lot, and I know it's kind of a different direction, but I really love the idea. I can't wait to play it. I want to get a PlayStation VR eventually, so I'm looking forward to playing it on that. But I want to do a Let's Play of Resident Evil 7. I've been wanting to do that for a while, so when that comes out, it's not going to be for VR, of course, whenever I do a Let's Play on that, but I do want to play a Let's Play on the PC or the PlayStation 4 for you guys. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know down in the comments below. Let's see. He also asked, what was an awesome brotherly moment you had with Mythos growing up? I had to really think about that one because I have a lot of brotherly moments with Mythos. We've been kind of best friends ever since we were young. There was a time in when we were both teenagers, we were kind of butting heads, but we're just opposite teenagers. But for most of our lives, we've been pretty much best friends. Actually, Mythos has kind of taken up a fatherly role to me a lot of times as well growing up because we had a bad father when we were young, and I didn't really learn anything I was supposed to learn from a father from our donor. We call him our donor because we freaking hate him. But Mythos has kind of taught me a lot of things that a dad's supposed to teach their kid, even how to ride a bike. Whenever I was trying to learn how to ride a bike, my donor, the way he tried to teach me was just telling me to do it, and when I messed up, he would beat the crap out of me, and then when I would wipe out, one time I fell off my bike, and I scraped the skin off of the side of my leg, and he just told me to keep on riding my bike, or he would whoop the crap out of me, so it didn't really stick. I didn't learn anything that way. My brother had the patience to actually properly teach me how to ride a bike, and yeah, so that's when I actually learned. Ever since we were young, too, I've had, we've both been, practicing sword fighting. We actually now teach a class whenever it gets cool enough in Texas, because it's, way too hot to be outside in Texas most of the year, but when it gets cool enough, we do some sword fighting classes. And we've been learning ever since we were young. My brother actually had a proper instructor, and everything that he learned, he would pass on to me, and we've always been kind of each other's, sparring partner. But when I was really young, I was probably 8 at the time. And we'd have to keep it a secret from our donor because he always told us to get our head out of Fantasy's ass and didn't approve of us doing anything that wasn't strictly military or whatever. So I was probably 8, my brother was probably 12. And I hadn't really gotten really into my fighting style yet. I knew that I wasn't a really aggressive fighter. I've always had trouble being the aggressor, but I've always played more of a defensive role in sword fighting. I have a very evasive, heavy, and counter-heavy fighting style. So one of the bad things I used to do is, when we were sword fighting, I was really good at dodging, but I would just keep on backing up and backing up forever until I left the arena, and I know that wasn't any good. So my brother recognized that I was a good dodger, but I needed honing. So one day he called me out for practice, but instead of going to our normal place to practice in the yard, he took me out to the carport. And the carport was a rather confined space. It wasn't so confined that we couldn't sword fight, but it was confined enough to where I couldn't back up. It was closed in on 3 sides and only had one opening. And he said if I left that opening, I left the arena at all during our practice, he would get a free smack in on me. So I had to stay within this arena. And basically, whenever he struck, and if I wanted to dodge, I had to dodge sideways. I couldn't really dodge backwards, and that's when things really like fell into place for me. It started to click, and I was able to dodge effectively and get in counter blows, and I really developed my style based on that. And I would think about him mentoring me like that a lot. So yeah, I think that was a pretty good brotherly moment. So yeah, that's really all the questions that I had from you guys this week. If you guys have any other questions, please don't hesitate to leave those questions down below. I would love to hear your questions, and I will answer them in the Q&A video that I'll post next Friday. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button down below. It really helps me out a lot more than you guys know. Do me a favor, drop a comment too. I love hearing from you guys. I love just chatting with you guys. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I would love to have you guys as a member of the Darklight family, and I hope that we'll continue this YouTube journey together again very, very soon. And until then, may your dreams light your darkest hour, and I'll see you next time.